Hey guys, Paigesugarbutts here and welcome back to another video. And today is yet another rant video about like my favorite horror games. But today is going to be about a very specific genre, which, maybe not as many people know about, although it is gaining a lot more popularity lately, which is really cool. And that's analog horror. I just absolutely love these kind of analog horror series on the internet. I watch so many of them and they're just so creepy and I love it. So yeah, there's a lot of different series out there that I watch. And as of lately, there's been a lot of analog horror inspired games, but even more than that, there's been analog horror games based off actual analog horror series, which is really cool to me. So yeah, today I wanted to talk about some of those games that are based off of series that I personally watch myself. So yeah, let's rant about some of them. So one of the newest ones on this list is the Angel Engine game, which actually came out really recently. At first, I wasn't too big of a fan of this series just because, as a lot of you know, it started off with AI, which is just ill. Using AI to make your series is just really uncreative. As of lately, he's been hiring artists to actually work on the game, which gives me a little more respect, but I don't know. I'm just kind of iffy about the whole AI thing. I just don't like anything AI. But I will say with the Angel Engine game, it is all AI free. It is completely made, which is why I'm including it in this video, because at least the game has nothing to do with AI, and I respect that a lot more. And the game itself is actually very cool, so even if you didn't like the Angel Engine series because of the AI and everything, you can still enjoy the game separately. And yeah, it's just really cool horror. By the way, sorry if you hear my dog, he loves licking my leg and it's driving me nuts. But yeah, it's just really cool how it has this really creepy body horror, and I don't know, it's just such a shame because the Angel Engine series itself has a lot of cool ideas, and if it weren't for the AI, it would just be so much cooler. But I'm glad I got to explore a little bit more of this cool universe in this game. So the game is at least a cool thing to check out, and I definitely at least recommend that. Angel Hair Learning Adventure is also another game based off of an analog series, which is of course Angel Hair, which is basically finding an old cartoon from your childhood. And I definitely recommend watching the series. The series is amazing. And so yeah, they made a game that is literally tied into the same universe, and it's basically just playing a game that is in the same universe as the series, if that makes sense. It's really cool, and I like how it starts off basically how it's oh, this is a kid's game and this and that. And honestly, the cool thing about this game is it isn't straight up horror. There isn't a bunch of jump scares or anything, but I don't know, I think it's a cool way to tie the universe of the series into a game as well. I just feel it's done very well, and it's just a cool game that I definitely recommend for people to check out. I think it's really rad. Now, obviously, one of the biggest analog series of all time is the Mandela catalog. So, of course, since this series is so popular, there's been a lot of games based off of the Mandela catalog. There's no game that's exactly made by the creators of Mandela catalog that's directly tied to it. However, there are a lot of games that are inspired by the Mandela catalog or directly connected to it. So I'm just gonna mention a few of those. And I am actually making a video right now that is going to be the top 5 Mandela catalog inspired games. So that's either going to be before or after this video, depending on when I upload. But yeah, I'm still going to mention a few of those games in this video since obviously, it's all tied in. So yeah, if you like the Mandela catalog series, I definitely recommend the games Maple County and Mandela Invasion. Those two are really good and are based directly off of the Mandela catalog. Obviously, they're set in the same universe, same characters, so those are really cool. And then just another game that's just based off of the whole alternates and stuff like that in the Mandela catalog is Alternate Watch. This game is just really cool, really spooky, and it's just based off of the whole thing that the Mandela catalog is based off of. Yeah, obviously Mandela catalog, great series, and I just love that we're getting so many games based off of it. Super cool, definitely recommend checking out any of those, and just any other horror games you can find based off of it is just super rad. One of my favorite series of all time is the Lacey's Flash game series. They are just so spooky, so cool, and so the fact that they made games based off of this is just really awesome, and just makes a lot of sense because obviously Lacey's Flash games are based off of Flash games in the early 2000s. So having actual playable versions of these videos that we see, it's really cool, actually having games. So yeah, as of now, there's more of just a demo, but there are a few games you can play, but they are going to come out with more in the future, which is super exciting. Which is cool because then there's ones that we see in the series, but there's going to be a few that aren't in the video series as well that are just straight up games, which will be really scary. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I absolutely love the whole Lacey's game series. They are just really cool. I love them so much, so I am super excited to see more of that. And lastly, just like with the Mandala catalog, I'm not going to point out any specific game, but well, I guess I put a few examples, but still, obviously, the Backrooms. I mean, we all know the Backrooms, and there are a shit ton of Backrooms games, some of which are really awesome, some of which are not so awesome. But yeah, there's a lot of them out there, and again, it's just really cool having like these spooky like liminal space based off of like analog horror series. I don't know, it's just really cool. So obviously, just had to throw in the Backrooms in there because like, how do I not at least mention the Backrooms when it comes to like analog horror? But yeah, so that's just all I really wanted to rant about today, was just a few of those games based on like actual series. Now obviously there's a ton more games out there that are just analog horror inspired in general, which are also just super awesome. I love them all. But yeah, I'm really liking these new kinds of just like really scary analog horror inspired games that are just made more by like indie devs. I don't know, like they're just really cool, like a lot of the times just low budget games that I just really enjoy, and there's just like something really scary about them. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about them a bit today. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. It really means the world, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye.